So welcome all of you on this season of Engineering Services Paper 1 preliminary. That new season we have just started today only. And I'm sorry, I cannot remove it. This is not for fashion I'm doing. This is actually the room which is shared by other mentors also. This is a recording room. And I don't want that I should be a threat to them and vice versa. So I need to go with this. Please bear with me in this situation. Now this new season when we have started targeting 18th of July for engineering services paper 1. Now because of the COVID situation, it can be on 18th or it cannot be on 18th July, but my request to you is target next 2 months only, like these 2 months, May and June. So we should try to complete paper 1 in May and June in such a way that we target more than 100 marks in paper 1. 100 marks plus in paper 1 will be good, and then 200 marks in technical. So try to score more. If you ask me how many marks can we attain in paper 1, my bet is 140. You know, you can score that. People have scored that. You need to develop the common sense of the subject. And how we develop the common sense is you need to understand the concepts. You need to enjoy the concepts. I will push the series of videos on this concepts through questions and all. As you know, URPD is a platform which is doing it for the last now couple of years. So please learn with us, learn with the mentors for paper 1, and I'm very sure you can score high in that. So without wasting any time now, I start today with one of the topics in this engineering services. And you know, these are the 10 topics they mention in paper 1 of the prelim. And out of these 10 topics, today I'm going to take current affair wala part. In that, economic, basically economic issues, current economic issues and economic issues in engineering. You know, economy is a very, very vast subject. So there is no limit of economy. If you keep on reading for hundreds of hours, even then you may not complete the economy as a subject. But the good thing is, in engineering services paper 1, he is going to ask that part of economy which is relevant for engineering domain, which is relevant for engineering field. So that part of economy is only going to be asked. Now we have couple of years of papers, previous years papers, so our preparation will become more focused. When it was introduced first time, even mentors were not knowing what he can ask, what he cannot ask. But the last paper was in January 2020, just before COVID, this entire thing. And now that couple of years of papers we have with us now, just to make a reference that what kind of questions can be asked. So I start with now engineering economics part, and in that today I'm taking the economic planning as important topic. Economic planning, very simple topic. And as I told you, you are not to revise all. You need not to write this all. This study material I'm going to send you in the WhatsApp group. So this entire topic is very, very simple topic. You are not to put much pressure on that. Try to understand what is the gist of the topic. In any country, you know the resources are limited. Resources means money, manpower, material, raw material. So we need to use these resources and get some output. I give you example related to agriculture. What is the resource in agriculture? The person who is working in the field, manpower. The machine, maybe tractor, maybe plow, maybe the, you know, you are using local methods to plow the field to make the crop. Irrigation, water is a resource. And then monetary resource, agricultural, the farmers, they have a resource to get the fertilizer or something. All these are resources. Water, tractor, manpower, then fertilizer, these are resources. What is the output? Crop. Crop output is the output for us. Now to convert the input resources into output, you need to make a planning. So that planning can be done individually by you, it can be done by government, because irrigation facility not only you provide. Government gives you some incentive and you make well, or you make hand pump, you use hand pump. Cheap electricity government provides for agriculturalists or farmers, very cheap electricity for agriculture. So what kind of planning is required to convert the input into output? That is all about this in a particular country. And as you know, when we are reading this subject, we are reading this subject from the context of India, which is socio-economically developing country, huge country. So we are studying this topic from Indian perspective. So we will be talking about certain things which are relevant for India. Now there are some categories of planning: democratic, totalitarian, planning by direction or inducement, short-term, long-term strategic planning, functional or structural, central or decentralized, indicative or imperative, physical or financial. So all these terms we need to understand that what is the meaning of planning for Indian context. As I told you, very, very interesting topic. I have divided this entire topic into categories. And this is what in each slide we are going to study it. And as I told you, need not to write it. The notes I'm going to provide you. So what are the different categories? Planning by inducement, enticement, lalach dena, incentive dena is also called indicative planning. So what are the most important terms here in this particular planning categories? What are the most important terms? Indicate karna. Government will tell you, go that side. Okay, I'm giving you tax holiday. Go that side. So invest there. As I told you, the electricity is cheapest for agriculturalists. Then maybe industries. Then manufacturing industry. Then maybe service sector. So why government gives tax holiday? Why government gives cheap electricity? Because government indicates, gives incentive so that you should invest in agriculture. That is called inducement, incentive dena, indicative planning. Understand? Planning by directions. Government will give you some directions. Physical planning, financial planning. Physical planning. Okay, I give you this much money. I invest 1 crore, but can I get output? That is called physical. Show me something, output. Show me the output. If you show me the output in form of product, that is a physical planning. We'll study about this. Centralized, decentralized planning. Centralized, top पे नीति आयोग, earlier it used to be planning commission. Center पे बैठ के planning हो रही है. Decentralized, let the local bodies plan. Mahatma Gandhi Narega, let the local bodies plan. Panchayat, decentralized planning. Understand? Indicative and imperative planning. Again, this is related to this topic only. Indicative and imperative planning, but important terms. Democratic and totalitarian. Democratic means you have to consider the all stakeholders. You have to consider the point of view of everyone. Totalitarian, you are not to ask anybody, just do it. Fixed planning, rolling planning. Fixed planning, I have planned it. Now let's move according to this. Rolling plan, that means no, I can change. It is a flexibility is there. Short term, long term. Long term is called strategic plan. Strategic plan. That means I should have certain thing in my mind, couple of years. Let's plan now, and its result will come out now. Normally, when government comes out with some kind of program or policies, Atmanirbhar Bharat, you understand that? Swachh Bharat. So these plans of government, it takes time for completion of these programs and policies. Long-term planning. Corrective and developmental planning. You know, developmental planning, infrastructure to be developed. Capitalist, socialist. America is a capitalist country. Russia is a socialist country. You understand? So India has a mixed model. India has mixed economic model. That is what we are going to discuss. You know, economy is a beautiful subject, and all engineers, all technocrats should have some knowledge of economy and economic terms. Understand it, you will enjoy the terms. Okay, now what is planning by inducement? Indicative, incentive. Inducement, incentive, lalach dena, entice karna. Telling the kid, telling the small child, okay, if you do this, I'll give you chocolate. If you do this, parents want the child to do this. So similarly, government wants us to do something. Government is giving some indications. Indicate karna means what? Telling us means what? Industries, people, everybody. Government is telling us to do this particular job, to invest here, and then we will give you incentive in the form of tax holidays and all. So what is this called? It is called indicative planning or market incentive based planning. Market is manipulated by government through incentive and inducements. So there is a persuasion. I'm persuading you. I'm not forcing you. You can even tell your child, don't do it, or I'm going to beat you. I'm going to punish you. But in this case, government is not doing this. Government is not saying, don't do this. Government is saying, okay, if you do this, I'm going to give you incentive. So it is persuasion and it is not enforced by order. There is no order. Government is not giving you order. So can't you tell me that indicative planning is a democratic planning, right or not? It is not totalitarian. It is democratic. I am telling you to do this. I am giving you incentive for that. Here the consumers are free to consume whatever they want to produce. Government is only giving you indication. Government is only giving you tax holiday. So if you are ready to take those tax holidays and invest there, then that is up to you. Sometimes government wants that you should go to this area, which is a remote area, invest there. So government says that if you go to that area, hilly area or something, remote area, then you will get this much of tax holiday, you will get tax rebate, you will get cheap electricity. So maybe you will get land on lease. So these incentives are given by government to the people. This is called indicative planning. So then rest you have to read it. Government provides subsidies, tax holidays, loans. So these are the benefits you get in the indicative planning. I hope ये टॉपिक आपको इंडिकेटिव समझ आ गया. What are the advantage? What are the advantage? Advantage is it is more democratic, as I told you. Depends upon consumer. Freedom of choice is there. You are free to produce whatever you want to produce. It is flexible. It is smooth. There is a basically freedom to choose whatever technology we want, etc. And there is no forced thing by the government. So these are some of the advantages. You can go through these advantages. As I told you, only thing is holistically you should know what is the meaning of it. Detail mein, there is no limit of details. But yes, please refer it and read these points later on. What are the demerits? It cannot reach all the objectives. Government wants to achieve certain targets, but people may pick it up, people may not pick it up. Government says I will give you tax holiday. You say I don't want tax holiday, but I cannot go to that area. Suppose there is a very remote area. Government wants to develop that. Tells all the big companies, come here, we will give you tax, but they don't want to come. Then that area will not be developed. So that means it is not 100% target oriented. There are profit motive rather than welfare motive. That is what I told you. There is something which is called profit motive, and then there is something which is called social motive. Why any private company, why any private player will come to that area to fulfill social motive? Because every company is to survive. Government works on social motive, but private player does not work on social motive. They work on profit motive. If they don't see profit, then they will not come there. So that is the main trouble with this. Government policies may not be attractive to those players always. Maybe the incentive government is giving, like government is planning to sell public sector, but government is not in position to sell public sector. Why? Because government is not getting the sufficient buyers. Why? Because they don't see the profit in that, maybe. So these are the things. Everybody may not come to what incentive government is giving. Now let's talk about planning by direction. Next is planning by direction. That simply means there are socialist countries like China, USSR, when Russia used to be USSR before 1991, its name was USSR. That was a socialist country. That means Communist Party of China will decide what is to be done. China still is a communist party. That means there is a single political party, one central authority, and this will make a plan, give the order and execute it. Direction, order. Incentive नहीं. चाइना में गवर्नमेंट इंसेंटिव नहीं देगा. गवर्नमेंट बोलेगी ये करो तो करो बस. प्राइवेट प्लेयर को बोल दिया ये करो. कोई प्राइवेट प्लेयर है उसको बोला कि अगर आप सोशल नेटवर्किंग साइट बना रहे हो तो सारा डाटा हमारे साथ शेयर करना है आपको. यू हैव टू शेयर entire data with us. Alibaba, Chinese government versus Alibaba. What is happening? The Chinese government is telling Alibaba to do something. They have to do it. So unlike India, India में government is not forcing the corporate or cannot force like that. But in China, countries like socialist countries, order can be given. That is called by direction. It is undemocratic. Yes, it is totalitarian. Yes, it is inflexible. Yes, China के साथ ये सारे नाम जुड़े हुए हैं, right? So this is how this is called planning by direction. Next is very important, physical planning, financial planning. So what is physical planning? Physical planning means physical allocation of resources and product yield on other side. भाई मैं तेरे को इतनी इनपुट देता हूं लेकिन तू मेरे को इतनी आउटपुट देगा. This is physical. I'll give you this much, I'll give you 1,000 rupees and you are to produce 2 products by the day. Output should be very much quantified. I give you this resource, you will give me this much. That is called physical planning. You understand? There has to be balance between investment, I did investment, and output. Tell me what will be the output. I should not waste my money. I invested this much, you have to give me this much output. Investment coefficients are calculated and these coefficients tell you how much investment is required to give you particular amount of output. So this is basically related to output. So investment output के बीच में relation is physical planning. You understand? So target based planning. What is financial planning? Demand and supply. Demand and supply. Inflation and economic stability. You know, this is when the same name is financial. Now the government is sitting with money. Now government wants that recession. You know what is a recession? No output, no business, nothing. How to fight a recession? One way to fight a recession is start dumping money in the market. Give money to the people. Why? If money will go to people, they will start purchasing. If they will start purchasing, business will start moving. You understand? If there is a money power with people, they will purchase and all businesses will start moving. But there is a fear, if you give money to people, inflation, महंगाई बढ़ जाएगी. क्योंकि if money is more in the circulation, then हर चीज की cost बढ़ जाएगी. So inflation, recession, how to fight it out? That planning is called financial planning. So how much money should I put? I should get this output. That is physical planning. How much money should I put so that market के अंदर recession, inflation, etc. should be under control. That is called financial planning. Difference between physical planning and financial planning is that physical planning tells you about the size of investment in terms of real output. How much investment should I do? What is the output I want? Financial planning tells you about the size of investment in terms of money. It talks only about money, not the real output. This is the difference between the physical planning and financial planning. Everybody knows what is centralized planning, what is decentralized planning. Under centralized planning, all the economic decisions are taken by central authority. It only makes the planning, set the target, prioritize the things. So this is what is called centralized planning. कौन countries करती हैं? Sir, socialist country और communist countries करती हैं. Can you name socialist country? Erstwhile USSR, Cuba, you understand? Venezuela, जिनसे अमेरिका बहुत क्लोज नहीं जाता. America is a capitalist country, not close to socialist country. Socialist country says all resources are to be controlled by country, government, not private player. Communist is entirely different thing. China is a communist. China में क्या बोलता है कि country में एक government and Communist Party of China will control it. Understand? More control is there. So That is centralized planning. What is decentralized planning? Capitalist economy. Let the market decide. Let Ambani decide. Let Adani decide. America may whosoever wants to become big as per their capability can become big. Don't you know about Facebook, Google, Yahoo, big companies, Microsoft? So these guys, as per their capability, they have grown big. That is capitalist economy. Government is not going to control them much. Whosoever is capable, just do it. So that is called capitalist or market driven economy. Decentralized planning, centralized planning. Government will take control, others will take control. This is how it should go. Now, structural and functional planning. What is the meaning of that? When you talk about creating the structure, socio-economic development is to be done. That is called structural planning. We will make bridges, we'll make infrastructure, we'll make this much. So that is called structural planning. When our country got independent, Nehru government was there. Nehru planned about creating roads, dams, IITs, public sectors because country wanted it. We were not having very big industries in the private sector. There were no big private players. Government started producing everything. We were not having very big educational institution in private sector. Even private schools were not there. Government schools, government colleges, government industries. So government took the challenge, that is called to create the structure. Now, functional planning is basically very big change is not to be brought in the socio-economic setup. We are not to make a big change. We are to basically meet the requirements of consumers. This function is to be fulfilled. Let's do it. Functional planning. Let's start planning for creating something small, big, small things. Not a big change in the entire planning of the. So whenever government plans something big, government thinks something big, like Make in India. So what is government planning? How Make in India is to be attained? Government started creating big infrastructure or something. That is called the structural planning. All entire structure is to be changed. So when this new government came into power, 2014, earlier Congress government was there, now BJP government came. So BJP government wanted to make big changes. Entire structure is to be changed. Because they were having some idea in their mind that we want to do this thing. So that kind of planning which they made that time is a structural planning. But when the government is running, small changes here and there, functional planning. Indicative, imperative, we have already done. Let's talk about imperative first. It is centralized planning, there is a centralized planning authority. And what is imperative is something which is important. Directive planning. We direct you. Imperative means we order you. Direct. This is directional planning. We direct you, we order you. That is called imperative planning. The state government will provide everything and you have to do it. The government will control everything. Government will say, we are not requesting you that you take loan or you take incentive and do it. We are telling you to do it. Imperative. Important है ये, करना ही पड़ेगा इसको ऐसा. So that is called imperative planning. What is indicative planning? So indicative planning I have already told you. Government indicates you, give some kind of incentive, you have to do it. Now there are a couple of approaches which follow indicative planning. Forecasting approach. When you get to know that these things can be good, like electric vehicles. Now why big companies are trying to invest in e-mobility electric vehicle? Because now there is an indication that government wants, by this year government wants to replace the fossil fuel based automobile by electric automobile. So that is a forecasting. Government has made some policies. There is some kind of corporate approach. Companies are thinking on that line. So when there is a change in thinking of the government, change in ecosystem, trend change ho gaya, everybody is planning now to go for this particular thing. That is called indicative planning. And imperative, जरूरी है, ये तो करना ही पड़ेगा. This is very important. Democratic totalitarian. When people are considered, that is called democratic planning. Panchayati Raj mein, Mahatma Gandhi Narega. Nobody is guiding you from the top कि ये करो. Whatever village panchayat or municipalities, whatever they are thinking to make at the grassroots content of the plan is fixed, objective is fixed, time is fixed, whatever we want to do that is fixed. अब इसको change नहीं करना है, don't change it. But is change good or bad? Suppose certain thing happens, like we planned to do this, but COVID happened. Don't you think we should change the plan because of the COVID situation now? Yes, we should change it. That is called rolling plan. So flexibility is there. You change the targets, you change the objectives, and the change is for betterment, not because I could not do it, so I am changing it, but maybe because I am to incorporate this new thing. That is something good, and hence that is called rolling plan. So fixed plan, rolling plan. What is the merit of fixed plan? You will achieve your target, whatever you decided. It is effective implementation is there. What is bad thing about this? They are not flexible. There is no revision of objectives or targets. So if there is some trouble, you still are doing the same thing, wastage of resource. So fixed planning, rolling plan, दोनों का advantage and disadvantage है. Rolling plan is you are changing year by year. You are changing. You know, every year you are changing your targets little bit. What are the advantage of rolling plan? It is flexible. It helps you to revise, readjust on continuous basis. But you know, rolling plan में you are not that much committed to do something. You may keep on changing your plannings. Now we talk about long-term, short-term, medium-term plan. Long-term plan is called strategic planning. This is called strategic planning, and this is very, very important. Over 10 years, strategic planning, in which government is planning something big. Your company is planning something big. 1 year plan, short-term, budget. Every year, annual budget, you know, year-to-year basis, and in between is medium planning. Short-term plan is called control plan, annual plan, you know, that is called small budgetary plans. This is called perspective planning or strategic planning, structural planning. These 2-3 names, please remember. Long-term plan is for 10 years to 30 years. What are the other names of long-term plan? Other names are perspective planning, strategic planning, structural planning, because that is what you create, long-term perspective. Where do you see yourself after 5 years? Where do you see yourself after 10 years? That is what perspective. What is your perspective about your career? Coursive and developmental planning. Planning which actually, corrective and developmental planning. You know, that planning which is taking care of what is happening in the economy, what should be there and what you ought to do. Like you must be knowing, Reserve Bank of India keeps on changing the repo rate, reverse repo rate, interest rate to make the balance between inflation and recession. So RBI, whatever it is doing, changing the small economic parameters, that is basically the corrective measures. What is developmental planning? That's plan for the development of whole economy. When National Highway Authority of India says we are going to invest 10,000 crore on building the roads, that is called developmental planning. When government is saying no, we are going to reduce the interest rate so that the inflation is controlled, that is called corrective. Let's correct it. Capitalist and socialist. I already told you. Socialist means central planning. Government is planning. All the resources in the country belong to government and people. Individual cannot become very big player. Individual cannot become monopolistic. Government is to control. In this case, you are free. Government is not going to interfere. If you are capable, you become the billionaire. You become the super rich. Not a problem. So private sector has more say in this. Government sector has more say in this. Typical example of capitalist economy, America. Typical example of socialist, Russia. You can think of that. And where India stands, India is a mixture. India may you will find Ambani, Adani also. You will find the government control also. Right? So there is capitalist or free enterprise economy also. But then it has main trouble like monopolies. जैसे आप देख रहे हो अंबानी अदानी have become very very monopolistic, very rich. They can control the government also now. Capitalist economy का ये disadvantage है. And on the other hand, there is a socialist economy. It creates a trouble because bureaucracy will be very strong. Government ही सब कुछ करेगी तो government तो करती ही कुछ नहीं है. As per many of the views people have, government is full of inertia, red tapeism, bureaucracy. तो फिर कैसे काम चलेगा? अभी कोविड आया तो भाई प्राइवेट सेक्टर के हॉस्पिटल तो बंद करके बैठ गए, तो फिर गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल ही काम आए. दैट इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ सोशलिस्ट पैटर्न. बट देन इफ एवरीवेयर देयर इज ओनली गवर्नमेंट स्कूल, तो एजुकेशन पढ़ाई कैसे होगी? प्राइवेट स्कूल शुड आल्सो बी देयर. आप अपने बच्चों को गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में डालोगे ही नहीं. क्यों? क्योंकि पढ़ाई नहीं होती. So that means there has to be private player also. So yes, capitalist means private player, socialist means less role of private player. That is how it is. So both public sector and private sector should move parallel. That is a mixed economy. ये तो होता था, जैसे पब्लिक सेक्टर भी होता था, प्राइवेट सेक्टर भी है. दिस इज कॉल्ड मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी एंड इट शुड बी like that only. Okay, can you answer this question? 2020. Last year this was the question asked. Which one of the following method of planning is an attempt to work out implications of development effort in terms of sector allocations and product yield so as to maximize the income and employment? How to allocate your resources so that your output is also seen, that is also visible. Physical planning. I told you, after reading all this topic, then you develop a common sense about planning. This is how it goes. I'm sure you enjoyed this lecture. Keep watching and keep learning. Engineering Success Paper 1, we can surely hit 100 plus.